The important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success, combined with constant restlessness. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. A question that drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. A true genius admits that he knows nothing. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Try to become not a man of wealth, but a man of worth. The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. Science can flourish only in an atmosphere of free speech. You never fail until you stop trying. Genius is making complex ideas simple, not making simple ideas complex. Nothing truly valuable can be achieved except by the unselfish cooperation of many individuals. God does not play dice with the universe. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. A human being is part of the whole, called by us universe. To punish me for my contempt for authority, fate made me an authority myself. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. All meaningful and lasting change starts first in your imagination, then works its way out. Perfection of means and confusion of aims seem to characterize our age. Nature shows us only the tail of the lion, but I have no doubt that the lion belongs with it. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. I believe in intuition and inspiration. At times I feel certain I am right, while not knowing the reason. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. Music is life to me. The mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original size. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. In order to form an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must, above all, be a sheep. Common sense is nothing more than a deposit of prejudices laid down in the mind before age 18. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. I want to know God's thoughts. The rest are details. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Information is not knowledge. Knowledge is not wisdom. Wisdom is not truth. A theory can be proved by experiment, but no path leads from experiment to the birth of a theory. If at first the idea is not absurd, then there is no hope for it. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Where the world ceases to be the scene of our personal hopes and wishes, there we enter the realm of art and science. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. Our technology has surpassed our humanity. It has become appallingly obvious. I love to travel, but I hate to arrive. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. I believe in standardizing automobiles, not human beings. Reading, after a certain age, diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. The value of a college education is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think. Strange is our situation here upon earth. Each of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why. The release of atomic energy has not created a new problem. It has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. Science is the attempt to make the chaotic diversity of our sense experience correspond to a logically uniform system of thought. It has become appallingly clear that our technology has surpassed our humanity. Truth is what stands the test of experience. Imagination is the highest form of research. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Setting an example is not the main means of influencing others. It is the only means. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. Great spirits have always found violent opposition from mediocrities. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge, but can never prove how it got there. Human beings must have action, and they will make it if they cannot find it. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Nothing happens until something moves. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. I believe in one thing, that only a life lived for others is a life worth living. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to think too much about the future. I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. Knowledge exists in two forms, lifeless, stored in books, and alive in the consciousness of men. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Never lose that holy curiosity.